Doing well and welcome back to another video. So I think it's fair to say we've got a very interesting qualifying coming up based off practice for Baku. I mean, for starters, the track looks very tricky, with plenty of drivers going wide and having to take to the escape road. Even Max Verstappen nearly crashed, with him knocking up and just about avoiding the barriers. Charles Leclerc wasn't so lucky, with him crashing in FP1 and then having limited FP2 running due to some changes needing to be made on his car. Despite this though, Leclerc topped FP2 and Carlos Sainz looked quick as well, showing that Ferrari do have some decent pace around here. But one team that didn't look quite on it was McLaren. I mean, Oscar Piastri was only 5th fastest, while Lando Norris only managed 17th, after not setting a representative soft tyre lap at the end of the session. Now, given how strong McLaren have been, I do expect them to bounce back on Saturday. But it seems Norris just isn't happy right now, with him telling F1 TV we're quite a long way off. I'm having to push way too much to try and get a lap time out of it, clearly. I think where Oscar was is kind of more where we are. If we nail it, we're just about there, but I'm sure the competitors are not even close to nailing it yet. We have quite a lot to find honestly, compared to Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. Now speaking of Red Bull, I'd say they've turned up to Baku with a much improved car. They have a revised floor, and I think it does make the car look more competitive. Although at the same time, a lot of the time just comes from the middle sector. Then when they get to the last sector, they lose a lot of that time, and given that part of the track is pretty much just a long straight, it shows they may be running slightly too much wing. Still, the car seems to be handling better in the corners, which is better for them, and Sergio Perez is doing really well. I mean, it was him who had the advantage over Max Verstappen, with Perez just seeming more comfortable and looking consistently quicker than Max. It was also the second fastest in FP2, so I do think we will see a much improved performance from Perez this weekend. He was however caught up in an incident during FP2. Basically, as he was approaching the high-speed turn 14 on a flying lap, he came across a slow-moving Sainz, with Perez taking avoiding action as a result. The stewards met with the Red Bull and Ferrari drivers and decided to give Sainz a warning for the incident. A statement said, "Impeding in free practice is not normally investigated by the stewards unless it's considered dangerous. This was investigated because the driver of car 11, Perez, had to lift and move to the right at a high-speed section of the track and could have been potentially dangerous." In the hearing, the driver of car 55, Sainz, admitted that he'd seen Perez behind him, and the stewards noted that